I have a client that's buying a property from a divorcing couple. So the husband is represented by an attorney, the wife is represented by an attorney, and I'm representing the buyer in this particular transaction. And I've actually been on the other side. I've represented a litigant that was selling property while going through a divorce or right at the tail end of a divorce. So in this particular instance, we're at the end stage and we're ready to close. And the attorney for one of the litigants said that their client requires a few days after the closing to remain in the home. So we do that often enough. It's called a possession agreement, and a person will stay in, and that's because the scheduling is sometimes a little bit fluid, a little soft at the end. So we know that we're going to be closing, in a week or so, 2 weeks, something like that, maybe 10 days. And the seller hasn't arranged for the new place or the new location or needs to get a moving van or is waiting for some reason. So we usually hold the sum of money. And what's an acceptable sum? 3,500, 5,000, 7,500, sum of money, SUM. And what that's to guard against is you want to hold back a sufficient amount so that the person wants to leave so that they can get their money. And usually a small amount is satisfactory because you have an awareness that that seller has a new place or has a new apartment or has a new home that they're buying or is in contract to buy something else or they're moving out of town. Usually we know. In this case, one of the litigants of the divorce doesn't really have a place to live. So when that seller's attorney advised us that he's seeking a period of time, I presented that to my client. My client, the buyer, is concerned. The buyer has to move in right away. And as we're coming up near the end of the month, not moving in immediately will cause my client to have to rent an extra month instead of just tendering keys. So in this instance, we're looking for some compensation and the ability to hold back a lot of money. So maybe arbitrarily, I don't know if this would be the right amount, but ask for 10,000 or 15,000 or even 25,000, because we want to hold back money so that there is an incentive for the seller to leave. So that's a use and occupancy. I will tell you this year we've had a few other transactions where my office is the seller's attorney and the buyer's attorneys have stricken the paragraph that would permit a possession agreement, a post-closing possession. And I tell you, any kind of post-closing possession or escrow or holding back money for water or for the production of some document, it causes a lot of problems because, that's a video for another day. There's a lot of problems when you have post-closing tasks to get done. Pre-closing tasks, there's an incentive. Let's marshal our forces and get these circumstances figured out and solved and resolved so that we can close. But after the closing, everyone sort of doesn't work as expeditiously. Reach out, frankbrunolaw.com.